Good morning, and thank everyone for being here today. I'm State Representative Mike Huval, representing District 46 from the crawfish capital of the world, Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. Our highways are getting deadlier with fatalities up 22%, and our smartphone addiction is a big reason why. The number of crashes caused by a distracted driver may not be fully known, largely because we are forced to rely on self-reporting or a police officer actually witnessing someone violating the texting law. But every experienced motorist knows that the use of the smartphones by drivers is an epidemic. Some estimates place the blame for 50% of all crashes on distracted drivers. A 7-year study by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety found an astonishing 60% of teen crashes involved a distraction, most commonly other teenagers or smartphones. 70% of drivers polled by advocates for highway and auto safety said that their use of cell phones while driving. That increased to 86% of drivers who used their cars for work. A 2022 survey of drivers from the Travelers Insurance Company showed the following. 77% said they used their cell phone while driving. 74% used their cell phone maps. 56% read or text or email. 27% updated or checked social media. This is the kicker. 19%, 1 in 5, actually shopped online while driving. The choice to be distracted by these devices is not without consequences. Crashes where at least one driver was identified as being distracted resulted in 10,546 fatalities, 1.3 million non-fatal injuries, and a $98.2 billion in economic cost in 2019, accounting for 29% of all crash cost. Again, the traffic experts are convinced that we truly do not understand the complete picture of crashes caused by distraction. The numbers could be much higher. According to the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, the cost of all traffic fatalities in Louisiana in 2021 was $10 billion. That amount soars to $24 billion when you include the loss of quality of life calculations. But the cost in terms of human tragedy is incalculable. Shortly, you will hear from Suzanne Salter, who lost her daughter, Nicole, nearly 9 years ago to a driver distracted by text messages. That loss is still felt today as Nicole's 3 children grapple with the loss of their mother at such a young age. The reckless, selfish decision by another person to text while driving will have an everlasting effect on an entire generation or maybe more. We do have an existing anti-texting law, but police will tell you this is virtually impossible to enforce it because of the certain exceptions carved into the law. We can do something about it. We have an opportunity to reduce the number of crashes and, most importantly, reduce the number of serious injuries and fatalities. I have introduced House Bill 580 that will ban all handheld electronic devices. It is a hands-free law, which means you can still take that important phone call through your phone's phone system or by Bluetooth. But it finally removes all barriers for police to enforce our existing laws against texting and posting to social media. It is a proposal that has wide support from Louisianians, 68% of whom have expressed their support of hands-free legislation. And we know such laws work. According to the studies, bans on handheld cell phones used while driving prevent nearly 14,000 serious injuries and 140 driver fatalities each year in the U.S., lowering the overall death toll by an estimated 7%. Another study from Florida found that states with moderate to strong bans have 11% lower motorcycle fatality rates compared to states with no bans. In Minnesota, distraction-related fatalities dropped by 2% in a single year, and a total traffic fatalities declined by 4%. Tennessee has seen fatalities drop by more than 9% since passing a hands-free law in 2018, and distracted-related crashes are down by 4%. It is time for Louisiana to be counted among the states that have enacted a hands-free law and save lives and money. The emphasis, of course, is saving lives. That is what House Bill 580 will do. It is our desire to enact legislation so that mothers like Suzanne's daughter Nicole will return home safely to their babies. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce Ms. Suzanne Salter. Ms. Salter, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Suzanne Salter, and my husband and I are here in honor of our daughter, Nicole Salter. Nicole was killed by a texting driver the day after Christmas, 2014. I had her two children, two of the oldest, with me that day, and she had came to pick them up from our house. She left and went to visit someone, and the kids got out of the car, and we thank God that they did, because Nicole pulled out of the driveway, then went just 2 miles down the road to pick up a sandwich. She had stopped to make a left-hand turn and was hit by a driver that was texting. The phone records show that she had a long list of texting on her phone, and this has just impacted our family greatly. After her death, we've experienced the 2-year-old baby that doesn't even remember his mother. The middle son actually began slapping himself in the face because he didn't know how to cope with it. The oldest was having anxiety attacks at the age of 8, so bad that we had to call EMS because she couldn't breathe. And my husband, due to his just unbelievable heartache, tried to commit suicide. So this is something that is never ending. This impacts us forever. We've had so many events that her mother wasn't there to see, and the oldest actually is going to be graduating next month, and her mother won't be there because of the negligence of this crash. It's not an accident. It's a crash, because this person chose to pick up that phone. We would not have lost her if it wouldn't have been for that. I don't understand why people pick up their phone. It's not that important to have that conversation. Or there's Bluetooth now. That should be something that can be used. It's just think about it, each one of y'all, that how would you feel if your children didn't have their mother? No child should live and grow up without a parent like that because of a totally avoidable crash. This bill means so much in saving lives, and shouldn't we do that? Shouldn't we try to save every life if it's possible? And I really hope that we can get the support this year to get this bill passed. I really want to thank y'all.
Thank you, Ms. Salter. I have a letter I want to read from Nicole's daughter, Lana Hine. She really wanted to be here today, but she's on spring break. So I'll do the honor. It's an honor to read this for her. Phones are one of the most useful inventions ever made. They keep us connected with people all over the world and give us access to an unlimited source of information. Phones have indisputably changed our lives. The problem with phones is that they are addictive. Always new information to look at, always new sources of entertainment. We can never seem to put them down. This addiction to our phones becomes especially problematic when they are mixed with driving. While phones can be used for navigating through unknown places, they should never be used while driving. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 13% of all distracted driving accidents that result in fatalities are due to the use of cell phones while driving. This is a devastating and completely preventable statistic. On the night of December the 26th, 2014, my mother became a part of it. Nicole Salter Klein was only 32 years old when she was killed by a distracted driver that was using her cell phone. She was a young, beautiful, caring woman with 3 children. I was only 9 years old when I lost my mother. That was the first time in my life I had ever gone the thought of death or grief. I had lost my mother before I had lost my first pet. The memories I have of her are very few, and now the only way I feel my mother's love is through pictures and stories of her kind and wonderful soul. My 2 younger brothers are only 8 and 2 when she passed. They have even fewer memories of her. None of us will ever experience one of her loving hugs again or have her at any of our important milestones. We will never be able to talk to our mother again because of a distracted driving. Growing up without a mother is one of the hardest things a child can do, and while passing new laws will never give us our mother back, it will help prevent our family from having to experience our levels of grief. Distracted driving kills, so put your phone down and pay attention to the road.